Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special treat for you today on the HammondCast show. I'm sitting here with a good old friend. I haven't seen him for a long time.
Long time, really.
Yeah, and we're sitting here with a vocalist and extraordinaire and a guitarist and a world traveler and one of my favorite people, Alexander Ligertwood. How you doing, Alex?
Good, John. How you doing, man?
Right, man.
It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, man. Long time.
Long time.
A lot of water under the old bridges that we pass over.
Yeah, George Washington and the San Francisco Bridge.
Yeah, and the Bay Bridge and the Carquinez Bridge and all around the Bay. And now you're down in the Los Angeles area these days, right?
I live down in Santa Monica. I'm a beach bum. I live on the beach.
Wow,
Yeah.
Sounds nice. Well, for those of you who don't know, Alex is on many records with some of your favorite artists, including the Carlos Santana Band for a good 15 years or so, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And then before that, you're originally from Glasgow, Scotland, and you were very involved in the AWB, the Average White Band. And
I pretty much grew up with the guys from the Average White Band,
right.
Hamish and Oni McIntyre and Levani. If you're in New York listening, man.
The first White album, I know it doesn't say special thanks to Alex on the back, real big for nothing, right?
Yeah, plus, I was...
Did you sing on that record too?
Well, I sang on a bunch of different stuff, man, but I was signed to RCA Records at the time, so it was a little squirrely. But when the band actually, I've known the guys since we were kids, since we were teenagers. And when the band kind of broke up, unfortunately, in the late '80s, I did one album with them, an album called Aftershock. Yeah, it was a great record.
And then before that, of course, the Brian Auger Oblivion
Express. Yeah, and before Brian, I did about a year with Jeff Beck.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then the Senate, right?
Yeah, and when I came to the States, and Brian's band kind of broke up for a while, and I moved back to New York. I was living upstate, working with David Sanchez.
Oh yeah, right.
Great composer. He went on to do great things with Peter Gabriel and Sting, and, so that was a great band.
Were you in the band, the Oblivion Express, when at the same time that Julie Driscoll was in the band?
Julie Driscoll was the Brian Auger and the Trinity.
Oh, that was the Trinity, right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And the Oblivion Express came out after that. So,
Well, somehow you made your way out here to the San Francisco Bay Area in the 70s, the early 70s, right?
Yeah.
And, you became a big part of the San Francisco sound. But what always fascinated me was that all the musicians who I met through you, who came from Glasgow, you guys have such a tremendous feel for American rhythm and blues. Coming from Scotland, how does that happen?
Well, when I was growing up in Glasgow and we were kids playing music, if you didn't play R&B or, Motown or, Marshall Chess Records or, you didn't really get a gig. That's what was going on, And the story goes that there was a little record store in Glasgow, and the merchant seamen used to bring those records back from the States.
I see.
So that's how they got introduced into the city,
right?
And all the musicians started picking up. But that happened quite a lot all over Great Britain. The Beatles, the Stones, they were all doing, that American idiom.
It came back in the seamen's bags. Huh?
Hey, thank God it did. Because it was a long way to swim.
Right. Well, one of the great musician singers I met through you a long time ago was Maggie Bell.
Maggie, my darling Maggie Bell.
How is Maggie?
Yeah, Maggie's good actually.
Great.
Yeah, in fact, you can probably find Maggie on MySpace or
one of my favorites.
Yeah, she was tremendous. She was a big help for me when I first moved back to England after being in Italy for a number of years, and she was the one that introduced me to Jeff Beck. So. And that's pretty much how how that goes. That's how musicians get gigs through other friends.
She's very generous, She's got a big heart, and
beautiful lady,
great voice, very soulful,
very soulful.
And she has endured her share and then some of tragedies in her life too.
Haven't we all?
But
she keep going.
keeps on doing it, and it's great to hear that she's okay. You know, so then when you came into the Santana Band, was that around 1980?
It was actually in 1979.
79, right?
And the ironic part of it is, well, I had done a tour with a guy called Narada Michael Walden.
Mm-hmm.
He was the drummer of Billy Cobham and
Narada's happening.
Mahavishnu.
Aretha Franklin producer. And,
but he had a
great
band.
Drummer too.
Yeah, he had a band in New York, and I worked with him. And there were some great people in that band too. T.M. Stevens was in that band. Philippe Says, a great French keyboard player.
TM is a good friend of mine and Joe Berger's. You know? He's a wild man, yeah.
And he was a student of Sri Chinmoy.
Oh yeah, right.
And him and Carlos had a relationship through there.
That's right.
So that was the ironic part was I was living in Woodstock when I got the call.
I see.
You know, Santana's famous for Woodstock, so
I was
living there when I got the call to come back to San Francisco.
Interesting. Well, Alex, you've been all around the world. You lived in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
You lived all over Europe, and you speak several different languages fluently.
Including obscene.
Yeah. So you're called upon to be the communicator for the bands.
Occasionally,
many times.
I mean, in the Santana Band, it was like that occasionally. Nowadays, I mean, I do it just for myself. So you know.
But you're very comfortable in French.
Definitely, yeah.
And I remember this group that used to play for me in the 80s. They had some records that you cut in Paris. Le Truc.
Troc.
The Troc.
Troc, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Troc it was called, right?
Troc is a French word that means barter. To barter something, you troc, you know.
That was some nice music.
And their reasoning for that is you give us the money and we'll play music for you. That was the barter.
I see.
You know.
Interesting.
That was actually a great band. A tremendous, extremely famous French jazz drummer called André Ciccarelli.
Oh, yeah.
And him and I have been partners for...
Well, I met him my second day in Paris.
From the 60s in Rome when we used to play in bands together, you know. In fact, I have a new record that I'm supposed to be doing with Andre. Hopefully this year, we're going to do, in Paris, we're going to do the American Songbook with a big band.
Nice.
And we decided to do it much later because everybody else started doing the American Songbook, and you know Rod Stewart did it, and blah blah blah, and we had thought about doing it, and then when those artists started coming out with it, we figured, well, we're just going to get lost, so we let it lay for a couple of years, and now we've rejuvenated the whole idea. And hopefully we'll get that done either by the end of this year or beginning of next year.
That sounds great. Well, we'd love to spin it on the HammondCast show.
Yeah, man, you'll get it.
You know, you have a tremendous simpatico with the French people.
I do, yeah.
It was my first trip to Paris, and it was one of my inspirations, knowing you, that caused me to go out and get a ticket on the Concorde and fly over there. I surprised you. I surprised you at the hotel, right?
Yeah,
because you had just seen me. You had seen me a few days before with hair halfway down my back.
Right. Yeah.
And then I was there in Paris with looking sort of like a businessman, you know. And that was an incredible experience, you know. So I know that you're gonna get your French musicians in line and do some things for you, because you spent a big part of your life in France.
I still do, because I still have family back there. So my daughter, my granddaughter, my son-in-law, they're still living in Paris. So,
right on.
Yeah.
And now your newest record, it's Alex is just finishing this thing up.
Finishing up a brand new
I just heard
album.
some of the tracks, and it's really fantastic. So tell us a little bit about this project.
Co-produced by David Garfield, who's the MD for George Benson. Used to be the MD for Natalie Cole.
Mm-hmm.
And him and I have a band in Los Angeles called The Cats. David Garfield and The Cats. And it's got just a tremendous amount. In fact, we just did a show at just a month and a half ago at the Syracuse Jazz Festival. And we put the East Coast, the West Coast Dream Band together. So we had Steve Ferroni on drums, David Garfield on keys, myself on vocals, Bob Shepard, great tenor player from Los Angeles, Chuck Loeb from New York.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Randy Brecker.
Randy, yeah.
So, and no rehearsals.
Nice ensemble, man.
Oh, it was fantastic, man. You know, no rehearsals, straight on to the gig. We opened up for Ivan Lins and Sergio Mendes.
Oh, nice.
Tremendous.
And is there any video or recordings of that?
That I don't know. There could be. I mean, I haven't seen anything so far.
Well, we'd be interested to check that out for sure.
Oh, Will Lee was on bass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Will's a good buddy. Uncle Will.
Yeah. Well, Will is deeply saddened, as we all are, by the recent loss of Hiram.
Yeah.
And that was not really expected so soon. I had seen him at Michael Brecker's funeral.
Right, yeah. I couldn't make Michael's funeral. It was just not possible for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was...
that was a loss. That was a loss.
A big, sad
and then just recently there, you know, I lost... he was getting on in years, Jerry Wexler.
Oh, yeah,
Jerry was...
Jerry called me up one time. He left a recording on my answering machine. I'll never forget. He said, I don't know, Hammond. It sounds like a lot of wow and flutter on that recording. He was a great cat for Atlantic Records.
When Jerry retired, he moved to my wife's hometown, so I would see him every year.
Really?
Yeah.
And you know his son, Paul, too?
I don't actually. No, I never met Paul.
Mm-hmm.
But Jerry would come to some of the shows that I would do, local gigs in Sarasota, Florida. And he always had some great comments for me, you know. So he'd always nice things to say about me. So
between him
he was a generous man.
Arif Martin and the Erdogan brothers, that was changed our world musically. And so, sorry to hear that you had that loss. And but Alex, you know, it's really rare that we get you back up here in the Bay Area, and I know you're a busy cat, so I want to thank you very much for coming in.
I'm busy trying to stay busy, man.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the old music business, you know. But you're keeping the spirit alive as always, and your voice. I was just telling you a few minutes ago, I could pick your voice out of a room full of 1,000 people singing. Yeah. You're definitely got an original, great, soulful voice, man.
Thank you.
And it's besides being personally a great pleasure to see you again. It's a big honor to have you on my radio show. Man. And I'm very happy and honored to be here on this frequency that we know as KYOU Radio, and we just started our 4th year.
Beautiful.
Here every morning, you know, and sometimes at other times they play us too. So before we get out of here, Alex, what have you got to say to our listeners on KYOU?
Well, you know, enjoy the music. It's such a, you know, music is such an element of humanity that it heals, and it can be gracious, and it can be rewarding. As a musician, it's very rewarding. So listen.